Hey there guys, Guy with the Cameron 23 back again with another video. And this video is going to be my entry into MatticusTattooi's 800 subs contest. Really great YouTuber, really cool guy to talk to, does really good videos. Mr. Korea, as Forkable dubs him, and yeah, really great videos, and absolute congratulations on the 800 subs, absolutely deserved. Like I say, like a pillar of the YouTube movie community, and really nice guy. And some really cool questions in this contest. Some of the best questions I've seen in a long time. I've got the questions right here, and I'm going to go kind of off the cuff and you know, just kind of say what comes to my mind when I read the question. So, what film means the most to you? So I think, well, there's films that kind of have a nostalgic feeling, kind of like Aladdin, Back to the Future 2, kind of Beauty and the Beast. The films that when I was younger, when I was kind of off sick at school, or kind of in school holidays, I'd kind of watch them, and it really kind of gives like a nostalgic feeling. And there's films like kind of my favourite films of all time, like Pulp Fiction, Shawshank Redemption. Let's have a look. Kind of all just great films, but the only film really that I can think of saying about is probably my favourite film of all time, which it could be a bit boring, but my favourite film of all time is Dead Man's Shoes, directed by Shane Meadows, starring my favourite actor of all time, Paddy Considine. Just absolutely incredible. Just each time I see that film, it's like I'm watching it for the first time, which I never get with any other film. Like sometimes you like wish that like a film that's so good that you kind of wish that you kind of erase your memory so you can kind of watch it for the first time again. But that film is one. I've actually got the Blu-ray here. Absolutely incredible film. Paddy Considine is absolutely it's beyond words how good this guy's performance is. A really good story, really hard to watch at times, and just a really incredible film. So that's the only film I can think of really. There's no films that really kind of means a lot to me, but I'm just going to go for my favourite film of all time, which is Dead Man's Shoes. So yeah, there's the answer. I hope these answers are all right, because I'm going a little bit off. But anyway, second question is, what the first movie you ever bought? Now this could be, I think he said that this could be kind of like your first VHS, your first DVD, your first Blu-ray, and it's a really hard question this, because I'm not very good at, my long-term memory is not very good. Short-term's good, but long-term is not very good. So the only really thing I can go for is the first Blu-ray I ever bought. Now, this Blu-ray is the first Blu-ray that I bought in a shop. I had kind of a few wrestling Blu-ray. The first ever Blu-ray I actually watched was a Ladder Match 2 Crash and Burn. But the first Blu-ray I bought kind of actually in the store was Pulp Fiction. I think it was kind of like out for a couple of weeks. I was in Tesco, and before I got my Blu-ray player, what I did was I went on Blu-ray.com and kind of looked at reviews and kind of like lists of like Blu-rays you must own. And with Pulp Fiction being my second favourite film of all time, it was really a no-brainer. I still remember to the day, I was in Tesco, and I think it was about £11 I believe, and I just saw it and I just bought it. And this was before I had the Blu-ray player I have now, and the Blu-ray player I did have was like really noisy and everything. I remember getting it home and kind of watching it, and I'd never seen kind of a film Blu-ray before, and I thought that the quality wasn't that good, but then it was like grainy and kind of couldn't see some things. But after I'd kind of watched a few Blu-rays, I kind of watched reviews, I kind of worked out that that's how Blu-rays work. Now they're not going to be like picture perfect. It's going to be grain. There's going to be kind of objects that blend into each other. It's not going to be perfect all the time. But with that being the first Blu-ray first film Blu-ray I ever saw, I never knew about all the kind of like the grain structure and DNR and all that stuff. But I still remember watching it to this day. And yeah, I still remember that watching the scene where oh God, that's so nice. I can't remember the characters' names. Julia. Oh, that's embarrassing. Well, Samuel L. Jackson's character and John Travolta's character in the car when they talk about McDonald's and mayonnaise and things. I still remember watching that film watching that scene for the first time on Blu-ray, and I remember thinking that this isn't very good quality. But then, like I say, I learned that Blu-ray quality isn't going to be always perfect. So yeah, that's the first Blu-ray I ever bought. I mainly said that because I can't actually remember the first DVD or VHS I bought in a store. But yeah, I hope that's good enough. What movie did you see and thought, wow, I love movies? Now, I'm going to go for something a little bit different. I'm going to go for, I believe it was 2004 film called Mean Creek, starring, was it Rory Culkin? Rory Culkin, Josh Peck, let me think, some other people as well. I can't remember their names for the life of me. But that was a film I remember going to the City Screen, which is the picture house near me, the cinema I go to the most. I remember it was, I believe it was on a Tuesday evening, and I remember getting you get like a printed brochure every kind of couple of months or whatever. I remember seeing kind of a picture of, I think it was Josh Peck when he was sitting in the boat. There's some kind of promotional shot anyway. And I remember kind of seeing that in the brochure, and I was a big fan of Drake and Josh at that time, and I knew that he was in it, but I didn't know it was kind of like a real kind of a serious drama, which it is. I remember I went to see it, and it was like the first film that is like the first time I knew that films could affect me in a different way. I remember just everything about it, the music, the acting, kind of the plot. The plot was really, really good. The acting was incredible. Mainly kind of like young kids, and just kind of different scenes that kind of blended into each other. I don't know, it was just one of those films that I can't really explain it, but it's just a film that the first film that I saw that I knew that films could kind of affect me in certain ways. I don't know, it was just kind of different emotions went through my head when I saw it, and it was kind of the first time, like I said, that kind of that films could affect me in different ways. So yeah, so that's going to be my film. Like I said, I don't think many people have seen that, but it's just a really cool film. And what is keeping you from watching foreign films? And if you already do watch them, what film do you really want to see but haven't had the chance? Now, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky in this answer. I'm going to get in my DeLorean and go back in time a few months. And it's a film I have seen since, but I hadn't seen before it was released on Blu-ray. Now, I did a movie night on this film, which I kind of explained the story, which I'll explain it again. And the film I'm talking about is Blue is the Warmest Colour. Now, this film, I heard kind of lots of things about it. I was going to go and see it at the London Film Festival, but the basic thing is they kind of release tickets early for people who are kind of BFI members, which cost I think about 40 quid a year, which I was obviously not going to pay. And by the time that the regular tickets went on sale, there were no tickets left. So I remember I had this elaborate kind of like film diary, kind of all the films I was going to go and see, and what times and what cinema and everything. And then when the tickets came out, the only tickets I managed to get were for Labor Day and Nebraska, which I had to sell in the end because I didn't really want to kind of go all the way up to London just to see those two films. So I was really devastated at that. Blue is the Warmest Colour is one of the films I desperately wanted to see, along with kind of 12 Years a Slave and other films as well. And of course, when the tickets came out, I couldn't go. And since then, every time that this film was on at my local cinema, I was always working. It was every single time. There was one instance where they were showing it at I think it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Because it's a very long film, that if I would have gone to that screening, I would have had to run to work, and I would have had to I was actually going to thinking of kind of getting there late, kind of making up some kind of excuse, but I managed to kind of not go. It's every time. It's like they had it on once, and then kind of I think I messaged them on Twitter saying, are they going to be showing it again? And they said they were going to be showing it again, but not till. But it was going to be kind of an evening one again, so that annoyed me. Then they had it on, I think another once. No, I think the second time was when it was on in the afternoon, and the third time was another evening one, which really, really annoyed me. I was just desperate to watch it, and yeah, I managed to watch it in the end, but I had to wait for the Blu-ray release, which it was really hard to hang on. But I really, really wanted to see it. Just every time I wanted to see it, I was at work and I couldn't get a day off. because what they do, sometimes they kind of announce screenings kind of like a week or so in advance, and where I work you have to have at least a month's notice to kind of get holiday off, so I just couldn't make it work. But yeah, that's the only film really. I mean, there's films that I do actually own that I just haven't seen yet. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's just I kind of watch different things or whatever. Like things like The Hunt, I really want to see, haven't seen yet. The Great Beauty, I really want to see, haven't seen yet. But I don't know, just ones that I just haven't watched yet. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I just haven't watched them yet. So yeah, there are the questions. So like I say, incredible questions. I hope I've gone under time because I have talked about them quite a lot. But so really great questions, really great just really great YouTube. Like I say, I always put the link to MatticusTattooi's channel in the description box below, like I do with everyone's contests. So yeah, I think that'll about do. So I've rambled on for far too long. So thanks for watching. Hope those answers were alright for you, and yeah, looking forward to seeing who wins. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.